it's halftime and the Eagles are down, and he's with the giving the halftime speech or whatever.
Yes.
But he walks up there and he's just in front of people is not talking. So like people are moving, helmets and everything,
right?
And then people are just kind of like looking around, like what's he's not talking,
yeah.
And he was just like staring,
right?
And then he goes, "They are raping your wives and your mothers, and you're watching it fucking happen." And they were like, "What?" And he's like, "Do you want your mothers to get raped?" And they were like,
No.
"You want to sit around and watch that shit? That's what I'm seeing. Get the fuck out there." And they were like, "All right, win on 3.
Yeah. Did they come back and win?
Yes.
They did?
Yes,
oh,
yes.
okay.
I think they were like, this guy's going to kill us if we don't. I get high and I do voice notes, like I'll talk. And at the time, I'll be like, this is some high level comedy shit that is gold. And then the next day, you're listening to it and you're like, oh my God, I have to delete this. Make sure no one ever hears this. It's like embarrassing to myself to hear myself stone being like, and then, like just ramble on and on thinking that I'm coming up with some brilliant concept. I hooked up with one of my sister's friends. I was hammered, like so drunk. And the next day, I remember my sister was like, did you hook up with my friend? And I was like, there's always that moment where you're like, should I say it or not? I was like, yeah. And I was wondering like how she was going to react. She was like, how was she? I was like, what?
She asked that? How was she?
Yeah. I was like, what?
That's an interesting question.
I know. I was like, I go, yeah, she was good, but I was just fucking shit-faced, And she's like, does she give good head? I was like, oh my God.
This is your sister asking?
Yeah. I was like, I didn't really think about that. I don't know. A day goes by where she goes, oh my God, my friend is crazy about you. I was like, really? And she was like, yeah. She's like, can't stop talking about you. I was like, well, I'm leaving. So I left. And then she came out here to visit. And she was like, hey, do you want to go out? And I go, okay. And she's with a friend, a girl. And I was like, oh, her friend's cute. So she was trying to hook up with me, but I was trying to hook up with her friend. And she brought me to, I dropped her off at her hotel and she was like, do you want to come up? And I was like, nah, I'm good. And she was like,
I'm good.
She was like, you don't want to come up? And I was like, no. And I kept like looking at her friend. She was like, okay. So the next day she comes out again with her friend. And I'm trying to like talk to the friend. And we start talking about literature. I'm like, God damn it, I don't even know any of this shit.
Dude, you know how many photo albums I've had, old school photo albums I've had to sit and look at just to wait to get any kind of fucking attention? I'm like, yeah, I'll look at that fucking Trip from the Caribbean.
Sure.
I'm like, how thick is this goddamn book?
And then she's like, you haven't seen this one.
This is just going on the trip.
So she's like, oh, have you read this other book? And I go, no, I'm super interested though. And she was like, oh, I have it. And I was like, great. Can I read it? She goes, no, she's like, I'm traveling with it, but it's like my prized possession. And I was like, I'll send it back to you, I promise. And she was like, no, I don't feel comfortable. And then I insisted. I was like, get it. She's like, okay. Like, I'm telling you that I don't want to give it to you, but I just feel like I thought it was going to, help things progress. So I was like, oh, you want me to come get it? And she was like, okay. I'm like, yes, this. I thought I was going to close the deal. So we go up to her room and she gets the book. I can't believe she travels with the book. It's like her favorite book.
Yeah.
It's like worn and there's marks on it and stains and shit. It's like her teddy bear or something is this fucking book. So I was like, yeah, I can't wait to read it. And she goes, I would really be devastated if you didn't send it back. And I go, I'll definitely send it back. And I look at her and her eyes are welling up.
Oh my God, I wouldn't even be able to take it.
I was like,
Go. You're so committed. You got to take
I know.
this.
Now I have to take it. And also, I'm also realizing that she does not feel it for me. Like, it's taken me all this time.
She's got the feeling for the book.
Yeah. Like, I'm thinking, like, by showing this interest, you know, I'm sure that's like what I'm thinking, right? Like, she'll like me and this, you know, this can happen. So she's just like, I would be devastated if I didn't get this back. And she hands it to me and I can see tears in her eyes. And I'm like, I can't wait to read this. and then she's like, cool. And she's like shoves me out the door. She's like, boom, shuts the door. So now I'm like, I don't get to hook up with her, the girl I like. And then I have this book, and now I feel the weight of the responsibility. I'm like, I gotta fucking send this to her. So the girl who I had hooked up with sees me and she goes, do you want to come up? And I go, no, I'm not interested. Because I'm
got
just
a lot of reading to do.
I got reading to do. So I go home. I obviously don't end up with either of them. I read this fucking book over the next few days. I read it. It's a good book. I wish I knew the name. I go to the post office, fill out the whole thing, put extra stamps on it, ship it. And I think I put a little note in there too, you know, saying thank you. And then like a week later, it comes back. Wrong address.
No.
Yeah. And then I just kept the book.
DJ Dadmouth.
DJ
now, are you
Dadmouth.
committing to DJ Dadmouth, or is it
I
DJ
feel like
Polyby?
I feel like Dadmouth is who I am.
Yeah.
I feel like that's the right DJ name for me.
Yeah.
So,
Plus, it's a huge shout out to your mom's house listeners, which, let's face it, will be your only audience in the beginning.
I want to get you some Up Dog.
Some what, buddy?
Some Up Dog.
What's up, dog?
Not much. What's up with you, dog?
That's like a fourth grade joke. Fourth grade at least. Maybe fifth. I don't know. I'm not sure which one.
I know. I know. This guy, he picks me up and he goes, Terminal 6 today, sir? And I go, yeah, it's a nice guy. He's wearing a suit, big, you know, SUV, like a Suburban. And I start emailing and then make a phone call. And when I finally hang up and I look up, I realize we're pretty close to the airport. So I go, oh, we're making pretty good time. He goes, because I fucking drive, man. And I was like, what?
Shut up.
He goes, oh, you know, you see this hands on 10 and 2 kind of shit. I don't fuck around. I fucking drive, man.
Okay.
And I go, yeah. And he's like, you know, you see a lot of stupid shit out there. I mean, all the professionalism just gone.
Yeah.
He goes, you see a lot of stupid shit. A lot of times you wonder, why is this stupid shit happening? And you pull up, it's because there's a stupid motherfucker in the car. And I was like, yeah.
True.
That is true. You can just drop me out here if you want.
I'll walk,
I feel like he's
I'll walk. It's 20 minutes.
ramping up.
Yeah.
And then, so I text both you guys about that guy. 2 weeks go by. I walk out with my bag, go to the airport. This time I see a sedan, a nice car. And I hand my bag and I'm like, this is the guy, I think, you know? I don't say anything. He's like, how you doing? Put the bag in the car, in the trunk. And I get in the back and he closes the door. I go, this is a nice ride. And he turns, he goes, I call this the pussy car.
Are you kidding me?
I swear to God.
The driver. Professional.
Immediately.
The pussy car.
The pussy car.
Can I sit up front?
Have you guys ever done the
Paid for an abortion?
No, the Denver Improv?
Yeah.
Have you ever paid for an
6, 7, I don't know. That was like early rap when the rappers would be like, what rhymes with lotion?
Right.
Potion?
Right.
And then
Ocean, motion.
and you start listening, like I listen to Backspin a lot on XM, and every once in a while you hear one where you go, how did this get recorded? Me and my girl were rubbing the lotion, and all she can do is think about swimming in the ocean. You're like,
Right.
this made it. You got a record deal with that?
Right.
Like, that's horrible, man.
That was awesome back then, though. No one was
Right,
doing that.
because no one had rhymed words in public, I
Right.
guess. He fucking turns the car around. We're going to the stop sign that is 40 yards from our house. He goes, I'm fucking a couple older bitches right now.
Are you serious?
I swear to God. And I go, really? And he goes, yeah, man. He goes, I got a theory. I go, what is it? He goes, women in their 60s, it's like their pussy comes back to life. And I go, all right. And he's like, yeah, man, they just want to fuck. And I go, cool. He goes, the body's sometimes tight, but they can't hide that face, man. All fucking wrinkled. I just don't look them in the eye. And I go, okay.
This is your driver.
This is my driver.
How about you
And
look
then-
straight ahead, motherfucker?
Yeah.
Put that safety strategy.
Do you like free stuff? What about sticky stuff? What if I told you if you follow us on Instagram right now, link in bio, we'll send you some free sticky stuff. That's right, free Joke World stickers for everyone who follows on Instagram right now. Go do it. Please. Please do it.
You said you watched a new Ted Bundy?
Yeah, it's interesting. I could be very wrong.
He was a real rascal, that guy. He was.
He was, man. He was a roustabout.
He was a knucklehead if I ever saw one. So was Hitler, by the way.
Hitler had some bad ideas.
I remember that you used to encourage me to do this joke that would get me into trouble.
Which one?
Latino computers.
Oh, that's my favorite. I tell people that joke all the time.
Really?
They
People
go,
get so mad at me, man.
that's my favorite. I tell people that joke all the time. They go, what's Tom's act like before? I go, he used to have this really great joke about Latino computers.
It was a place on, I want to say it was on Vine or between Vine and Fountain, between Fountain and like Santa Clara, and it was called Latino Computers. That's what it said on a sign. So the joke was,
You used to do it real slow and calm.
Real slow.
You remember
yeah.
that? Do you still do that style?
Yeah, I mean, I do.
Because you seem like more fluid here, and then on stage you go into a different tom.
I'm usually a step slower on stage.
Yeah.
It would go. By the way, does it still exist if you type it in?
I was just looking for it. No, not easy to find.
It doesn't come up.
No, it got deported. The store.
I saw a place called Latino Computers, and I was like,
You want me to do the joke for you?
Do you remember the joke?
Hell yeah, I remember the joke. I saw I'm going to do it at your pace.
Okay.
I saw a store called Latino Computers. Latino Computers? Is that really how you really want to sell your store? Like, these computers aren't very fast, but they work really hard. And then the audience would always go, ooh, and you go, hey, it's better than black computers. They don't work at all, and they just talk a bunch of shit.
Remember, too, on the cruise we went on, the last cruise, that they had pornography, but it was too soft.
Oh,
And then
yeah.
you had to call and complain.
I did. And there was a Filipino guy, and he goes, oh.
You're right.
I go, I want it hardcore. And he goes, oh.
That's so
And he
funny.
goes, hold on a second, sir. And he like put me on hold. He goes, no, I talked to the manager, and no, we don't have that. And I go, well, I don't want to pay for this. And he's like, okay.
Yeah, they're all Filipino on the cruise ships. Star.
I get to the Greenhouse Tavern.
Yeah.
And I go, I had the tasting menu on Thursday, and I go, I want so much, and so can you like get me some recommendations?
Yeah.
So they go, you should try this appetizer, you should try this little small plate.
Yeah.
Have you had the pig's head pork?
Yeah, yeah.
And I go, no. And they go, well, you should definitely have that, and then we'll bring this for the dessert. Okay, so I have the appetizer, this and that. The pig's head is literally half of a boar's head. And because of how how it's supposed to be prepared, they bring you.
I never had that.
Okay, they bring you 6 buns to make sandwiches with.
Yeah.
Because it's a place. It's a dish
Family style.
to order for like 6 to 8 people.
And they just gave.
they were just like
They didn't give you a heads up on
no
that.
heads up. So he puts it up, and I go, and I'm supposed to do what? And he's like, it's delicious.
Yeah.
So I just start gorging. I mean, like really.
On
big,
half
like-
a head of
like-
a boar.
and force feeding it.
Yeah.
And then he's like, "Don't forget, we got the other thing
Yeah.
coming." blah, blah. So then it's like,
And you feel bad. You want to put a dent in it.
oh man, sick. I felt beyond sick.
Dessert's
I
good, too,
called
though.
her.
Yeah.
10 minutes later, I go, "You'll never guess where I am. I'm in my show clothes, my jeans, my shirt,
Yeah.
I'm on the treadmill in the gym because I think I'm going to throw up if I sit down or lay down. And I walked on the treadmill
It's a good
at
one.
that hotel for, I think, over an hour. And I go, this is just to try to help it go
get it go
down.
down.
I feel like I'm going to die if I get off of this right now.
And you were in your show clothes still.
I was like still in like the boots and the fucking jeans and the polar, like the collared shirt. But it was worth it.